Alright, so this is definitely a project I want to listen to. Westside Gunn. Flygod is an awesome god too. Now, when it comes to Griselda, I'm very new to this group, but I did listen to Pray for Paris, a great project. Probably, it has to be on my top 5 when it comes to my favorite projects this year for sure. The track with Freddie Gibbs and Rock Marciano, that's a great track. When it came to that Kobe line from Freddie Gibbs, that was a tough line for sure. The way he said, I might actually cry when I watch the Lakers. That was a tough line for sure. And I like the way Westside Gunn started on that track when he said, you hang with a rat, you a rat too. That was a tough line as well. But let's see how this track is going to be. The first one, Praise God intro. Let's see if this is going to be a great project as well.
Everything is not for everybody. We're very fortunate to be around these Renaissance figures. The universe places intelligent things and intelligent people.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. I'm not sure who the person is, but the feature says right here, AA Rashid. But I do agree with what he was talking about, the universe putting intelligent people. Yeah, the intelligent environment overall when it comes to this period of Renaissance is how he said it. But he also talked about how anything with fear is going to be temporary. So I do agree with that point as well. Let's see how this is going to tie in when it comes to the project. The next track is going to be Michael Irvin. Let's see how this is going to be track number 2. Hey, yo.
Think they fly now, but ain't nobody flying. Whoever cooked the half a brick in the air fryers in the bus, but today I wore the wires. Don't talk too loud, Lord, he got the wire. But everybody wanna be like him. Back of the back, but I still like to drive it. Niggas got the Mike Tyson bags in the spiders. Call the wagon, I need 2 niggas.
So I like the Mike Tyson reference so far. Westside Gunn has a very unique type of voice. Like, you don't hear any type of voice that is this distinct when it comes to rapping, but I do like the sound of the beat too. This type of instrumental already sounds great right here.
Rap, kiss my hand, I'm your highness. Takes the work, better turn 2, I'm a psychic. Woke up middle of the night, my Shelly crying. The nigga got an L, he realized he gon' die.
Yeah, this is more of an instrumental right here. Yeah, that was a great track. I do like the sound, I do like the flow. A very minimal type of instrumental right here. Let's see how it's gonna be with Jose Canseco featuring Stove God Cooks. I don't know about this feature, but let's see how it's gonna be when it comes to this track.
Hey yo, the marvelous, the gorgeous, the shocker. Every time the wind blow, I'm on the pop shine. You never shot nothing, bitches. I'm from the same streets as Boston Brick Nicholas. You is ridiculous. Jose Conseco.
This instrumental is crazy.
Jose Conseco. Little niggas still shoot for fame. Moms don't work power skating, you don't know the pain.
Yeah, this hard hitting as fuck.
It's just a bit of a burden. Just drop the price a couple points and keep serving. I heard your deal came with 100,000 and some jergens.
Yeah, a lot of artists have been talking about labels recently when it comes to just trying to show how these labels don't really care about these artists most of the times. So honestly, if an artist finds a label that actually wants to bring exposure to that artist right there, that's a great sign for sure about that label actually trying to help you out. But a lot of these labels actually don't want to help you out.
Take the braids out, let the head hang like Mr. Perfect shit. They owe some streaming money, but 144 months ain't breaking spirit. Walked in, jump back in, I told the Giottos and the McLaren. Young, rich, and arrogant as you hearing this. Everything is rap. If the fans,
yeah, they're going crazy right here.
Everything is cap.
This instrumental is nasty right here. I could just listen to these vocals right here, for sure. Yeah, so far everything has sounded great right here. This instrumental right here actually sounded better to me than the second one. The second track, I do like the feature a lot. And this artist right here is once again the feature on track number 4. Stove God Cooks. I've never listened to him. He had a very hard-hitting verse, a very powerful tone at the same time. And it was a nice contrast because Westside Gunn has a much more higher type of tone, but he still sounds like he still delivers a hard-hitting verse. But when it comes to Stove God Cooks, the tone is a bit different, so it sounded like a good combination right there. Hey, thanks for the shout out to Puerto Rico. I'm literally right here in Puerto Rico, so That's tough for sure.
Hope was on the box. The Eagles verse 2, she touched my soul, I had to stop.
Yeah, this guy's flow is nasty right here.
The same night, my young shooter hit 11 niggas. Kilos under the hood with the Porsche stamp.
There's nothing to complain about. This guy was great on both features right here. That was a great verse right there once again. I just like the way these instrumentals sound. Very minimal when it comes to the beat, but the energy right there when it comes to the background vocals is great. And the energy that these two artists bring to the track, should I say, is amazing. Both tracks, Jose Conseco and One More Hit.
Damn, this beat is nasty.
He tried to walk me, chop his feet off, and left his brain single for a piece off. Yo, my second wish, I been 7 trendsetting. Why Project Trench?
This is the nastiest beat so far, easily. Damn, that beat was... The way that beat just came in, bruh. Anytime, listen, Westside Gunn is gonna kill it. As soon as you listen to the, hey yo, it's a rap. But when it comes to that beat, damn, that shit was nasty. That shit was crazy.
I put money on your head, but I'm hands on. My shoes popping, Willie's just a green. Shells crack the ribs like Kodo.
Hey, so if I did listen to that correctly, he did reference Miguel Cotto, which is a boxer from Puerto Rico. If I did listen to that correctly, but yeah, this sounds great right here so far, bro. This sounds... Armani Caesar is the feature right here. Let's see how he or she is gonna sound. I'm guessing it's a she. Yeah.
Smoke like I'm running hot. I come through, fuck up, they swag it, they all stuff. They get bad, bitches mad. Stack full of dubs, little boy, that's what I laugh. Money talking made cheese, bottle tight, looking right, no agencies want me to win. It's like I never got the joke, I'm always last man.
Best beat so far, easily. Great feature right there. I've never listened to Armani Caesar. She sounds great. A great flow. A great. Bruh, every feature right here so far is sounding great, even when it comes to the person speaking at first. I honestly don't know who it is, so I'm not really aware. And obviously, Westside Gunn is killing it right now.
Police officers in Buffalo. We want to warn you, this is hard to watch.
Obviously, rest in peace to George Floyd. I did talk about that previously. I did donate as well. Featuring Benny and Baldy James.
Mackie on the plan, bro, 20 chains on, we on Rodeo Club. Who touching my Jenny walked at the block with him, refrigerator. I'm in the road. Work so good, get the elastic. Hit the AK behind the magic.
Track and field, running packs, I'm still subtracting real numbers. I protect the homies, Bodie and West, I treated my 40 just like my only connect. $1 million deals and still feel like I ain't hot yet. Biggie Smalls and the Coogee, it's like the Amazing Race. The money counter singing to me, sound like an Amazing Grace.
Yeah, Benny the Butcher is another member of Griselda. A great feature right here. The next feature is going to be Baldy James, but I just wanted to talk about, you can definitely tell the distinct type of voices they have when it comes to Westside Gunn and Benny, but they both have very great rapping ability in their own ways, if you get what I'm trying to say. So this verse right here was great. He even talks about how he has the $1 million deal, but he still feels like he's not basically at the top at his peak still.
I had to swallow that, balls and smack pumping while I'm crumbling the loudest scratch. Scurvy niggas topsy turn, my head total blocks with 30s in them, selling rocks, hair block a turn. The work coming in silver pack like a chocolate hearse.
So I definitely still feel like the best instrumental has to be Lil Cease featuring Armani Caesar. That was just a great beat right there. But Benny had the best verse for me on his track Buffs versus Wars. Let's see how it's gonna be right here with Menace and MAINO Skit.
I'ma stand on this block alone. And let it come to me. I'm cool, nigga. I don't chase what niggas think is cool, son. Because they don't even know that they cool.
Bubba Chuck.
Every other second face knocking at the door. All you heard was found a team screech. Floor seats watching the ground. I left the fourth quarter. Johnny thing that. Sprint the cook, I'm upstairs, fucking Toya. Poured up the middle.
Nice reference right there, nice basketball reference when it came to Joe Dumars. Of course, the shooting guard that played with Isaiah Thomas when it came to the Pistons in the 90s and in the 80s too, but when they actually won in the 90s. Now, actually the 80s because they won in 89 and 90.
We're going stretch, touch the hem. Stove gotta cleanse the kilo of his sin. We got us up like two more. I see him shoot 7 left-handed Tony Kukoc. Caught in the cream soda. Versace cap and gown. Got a water with diploma. If Columbus can still land, bitch, we can still land.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Talking about Columbus, they literally tear down a statue of Columbus that was ironically recently made over here in PR in Puerto Rico. And I was like, why the fuck are people over here constructing Columbus when he's literally the motherfucker who fucked shit up from the beginning over here in the Caribbean. But thankfully they took his head off. So that's a good thing. But let's be honest, when it comes to policies and economic policies, that doesn't really do anything when it comes to the community. But in the first place, they shouldn't even have that fucking statue. I don't know why they had it, and recently they made it, but I just thought about that when it came to that line. That was a nice rhyme scheme right there. Yeah, Stove God Cooks has a great flow on every single track right here. He had a different type of rhyme scheme right there, a different type of pattern. For sure, you could tell. That was a nice Ricky Rubio line right there. They did a reference to Isaiah Thomas as well. Of course, the Joe Dumars reference I mentioned previously. So some good basketball references right here. And at the same time, great flows. I would say Stove God Cooks had a better verse right here for me personally. But they sounded great both. Drive By Love featuring Keisha Plum. This man really said she dick sucking while he's holding his Uzi. That's a funny line, bruh. That's a funny line.
Slut me out, pussy tastes like fresh fruit.
Fit my dick perfect. I don't even use no condom. Me and you be mine. Got that shit.
Now you gotta use condom for sure. Yeah, so that was definitely a very different type of vibe compared to all the other tracks when it comes to the sound even. But not sure who Keisha Plum is, but of course that was a voice on this track. Not sure what type of relation she has with Westside Gunn, but maybe it's just a feature like that. But either way, Rebirth is gonna have once again Keisha Plum. Let's see how it's gonna be right here.
Yeah, I'm drinking Behr, out of Pyvexes. I'm drinking Behr, out of Pyvexes. Word to Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Moses, Angels, Valentino, Camel with the Eagles, Papa extra high for needles, status with the 5-panel, Prada Bucker with the triangle, city full of neighbors, put this in like strangers, shoot them now with me.
Hey, you're going crazy right here. He just keeps going right here.
I'm drinking Behr, out of Pyvexes.
I love the slight distortion it has on the instrumental. So at first I wasn't feeling this track because it had a lot of repetition at the start, but then he just kept going and going and going with the flow. That was a crazy flow right there. Probably one of the best flows he had on this project right here easily. We got to the Keisha Plum feature right there. Once again, the voice coming at the last part. But I do like the slight distortion it has on this instrumental right here. When you listen to it on the speaker, it has like this slight crack that is part of the instrumental. Naturally, it's not something that is an error of the speaker, but it does sound great. It adds a different type of feel, like those type of lo-fi hip hop beats, of course. Very minimal right here once again. Very focused on his flow and on his cadence. A great track for sure. Not at the start because I felt like it was a bit too repetitive, but then I was like, nah, he's gonna go in. For sure he's going in because he just kept flowing and flowing.
My old head, the world full of pathetic speed had him like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Shit that they snorted was off
Wrong
right.
streets.
Now back to rockin' the rugby with the racehorse. Late nights like Leno, I was moving elbows out the rental. I'm living rap that ain't won't look the other way. The streets will take you but won't bring you back. That's what my mother said in the verses that I display. At the top it's really Roman gun, the carpet's miles away.
Okay, so that was the last track. I like the flow. I actually like the feature more right here, but it was a bit short compared to the length of the track. A very, very short part of the track was at the start. But this project right here, it has a lot of great tracks. I basically enjoyed practically all the tracks from this project, to be honest. But if I do gotta go with some favorites, I would definitely pick Jose Canseco. I would definitely pick that Lil Cease track featuring Armani Caesar. Yeah, that beat was insane. Definitely the Michael Irvin track. That's 3. I'm gonna go with the Bubba Chuck track and the Buffs versus Wires. Let me know your favorite tracks down below in the comment section. A very short project right here. Of course, they don't go for long. I actually like the fact that they don't go for very, very long tracks because these artists be putting out 24 tracks on an album, and it's just too much to listen to. I'm just trying to enjoy a set of tracks, not have to feel like a fucking chore. Some of the skits, I feel like it's a bit, overloaded, kind of unnecessary at parts, but of course it's part of the project, it's part of the theme, and I understand why it has to be there. That's gonna be it. A great project. I still feel like Pray for Paris is better for sure. Pray for Paris has a track with Joey Badass, with, bro, my dog is literally snoring right now, that's funny. Joey Badass and Tyler, the Creator. I never thought I'd see that combination right there. And of course, the track I did mention with Freddie Gibbs and Rock Marciano is my favorite track. The beat on that track, Alchemist production, is disgusting. That shit is amazing. Either way, I'm out. Peace. Take care.